Welcome to the Wildcast Podcast, coming to you from Wildcast Studios, with your hosts Adam Lund and Jeremy Boucher.
Oh, welcome back to Wildcast Studios for the season review episode of the Wildcast Podcast, part 2.
We are wearing the same clothes.
Exactly.
Somehow we didn't change.
The power of technology. Your unofficial voice for all things Moncton Wildcats. As always, Fanisters. I'm your host, Adam, and I'm, of course, joined by your favorite co-hoster, Mr. Jeremy Boucher. I asked how your weekend was yesterday, so let's just get into recapping this.
I agree.
Last episode, we talked playoff review. We talked about the grades on the goaltenders and the defense core. So today we're going to get into the forwards. So let's just get right at it. So Dave Matthews, Mannix Harrison, Sam Archibald just didn't play enough. They were just kind of the forwards that were in and out of the lineup. You give them C's because they just didn't play enough. But what I will say is I did like a lot of what Mannix Harrison brought. I think he kind of acquitted himself so he belonged in the league. Like he didn't look overwhelmed as a 16-year-old. I think he's got a good shot to get on that fourth line next year. It'll be a lot tougher because there's a few guys that are in the Telus Cup this week that won't be missing time next year. But I think Mannix Harrison had an opportunity to be a tough camp cut and maybe one of the first call-ups next year as we move into the game.
If you call him a call-up, I'm penciling. I've got him penciled in. Oh yeah, okay. 100%. If the Wildcats didn't see him as a player with potential next season, he would be around, right? So, pencil him in my lineup. I've already got him written down there. I didn't, Sam Archibald, Mannix Harrison, Dave Matthews. I didn't have these guys on my list. You did. Again, we should probably learn to communicate a little better.
Actually, Sam Archibald, he was one of those trades that just kind of was like a depth trade, and it ended up paying dividends with the amount of injuries that the Wildcats had. He played kind of like I didn't know what to expect with him, and in the very limited ice time, he played pretty well.
No, I agree. Archibald was waiver claim, by the way. Did you say trade?
Was he not
No, he was waiver claim.
It was a long time ago.
He was. Yeah.
I thought he was one of those like
the weekend was a long time ago.
Yeah,
but yeah,
exactly.
he's claimed off waivers.
Okay.
Not to make you, I don't.
It's not the first time I've made a mistake on here.
That's good. Me neither. But yeah, with those three guys, it was tough for me. I didn't grade them. So yeah. But yeah, we'll get into the kind of the
meat and potatoes,
regular 12, I guess you want to put it like that. For the forwards, starting with Brooklyn Kalmakov. What more can you say? I remember the day he was traded to Moncton, and the first thing I did was go on the message board. And people were saying, why would you pay a third-round pick for a 20-year-old? Well, folks, when you score 35 goals, did he get 35? Or something between 30 and 35. He was up there. Was he not?
38.
38 goals.
34 with Moncton, 34 or 4 with Victoriaville.
So when you
34.
are almost a 40 goal scorer, 35. Let's go 34th Moncton.
Mm-hmm.
If you score 35 goals in one season, you are worth a third round pick. So anybody who was on the message board in like October-ish who were complaining that we traded a third-round pick for a 20-year-old forward, you can go and correct yourself because this was money well spent. A+. The only A+ I've given out, A+ for Brooklyn Kalmakov. And that's just not because his name is Brooklyn. It is because he earned A+.
Yeah, I was an A+ as well. I mean, we talked about it on the show. We had it with when Chris was here. Who was going to be the offense on this team? This team looked like we thought, Auger, Loshing. I mean, I believe when we talked about it, we said who's going to lead the team in points between Loshing and you took Loshing, I took LaBelle. Well, they finished 2-3. LaBelle was 44. Loshing was 42. But Brooklyn Kalmakov just came in and put the team on his back and was literally everything. You could have put a C on him. He was everything you needed, asked for. Most nights when things weren't going, he was the guy that got the comeback started, like got that first one that the team needed to get going. Like it just top line, him, LaBelle, Loshing for most of the year, and then Barbashev was up on there. Just he was everything as advertised, worth the price, not only of admission, but the trade price, which, like we tied in yesterday in the early episode, there's not a lot that Richie hasn't done that we don't endorse. And this was one of them that absolutely was stellar trade that most people didn't think would work out.
I'm still dumbfounded as to how he managed to play the entire season and not suffer an upper body injury from carrying the entire team. You know, there was the fact he didn't have a back injury from, like I said, carrying the team.
Yeah,
amazing.
This season could have been a lot worse, and I do believe, like we said before the trade period, the fact that they were where they were in the standings is the reason he had 76 points in 67 games with Moncton, or 72 and 62, because he should have been dealt. Had this team been a little bit lower in the standings, he would have been a price that we probably would have moved. Moving on to his center for most of the year, Vinny LaBelle. I gave him a B. The injury at the end of the year probably would have been a B+. He just had that tough injury. But, I mean, this guy was taking top-line center minutes. He's probably going to be the number one center next year. We weren't sure what he was going to be as a free agent last year. He exceeded expectations. He continues to exceed expectations this year. So I gave him a B+. I gave him a B, sorry. The injury kind of took away the plus because he just missed a few games at the end of the year.
A for me.
Yeah.
Yep. A for me. He's been everything, free agent. Didn't use an asset on him. Came into Moncton as a free agent. Didn't spend any money on him. These are the kind of players that you have to tip your cap, stick your, tap your stick to the scouts who find these players and get them to Moncton. Because look, he's got a twin brother. He's got an identical twin brother who could have easily, they could have went somewhere. They could have been the Saulniers and played together all their career. Oh yeah, he's got a twin brother named Simon LaBelle, who's playing NCAA. These guys, they could have easily went and played together as their careers together, but one decided to go college. One decided to come to Moncton's camp as a free agent last year, and what more can you say? Going into next year, 100% guaranteed 20-year-old.
1C.
Write it down.
Yeah.
He's one of your 320s, excuse me. Him and Hamel. Bring in a third if you want to. I'm
Write it down.
Write it down.
Yeah. Johan Loshing. Yeah. Okay, I'll go B-.
No. I'm okay.
Oh, okay.
I'm okay.
I thought you were collecting your words. That's why I thought you were collecting.
I was collecting my words. I gave him a B.
Okay.
You can see the potential. You can see the fact he shoots the puck like he's got a pro shot. But if the net was a soccer net, this guy, I swear to God, would have 50 goals.
Yeah.
If not even a soccer net.
Yeah.
If the net was 6 inches wider, he'd be a 50-goal scorer at 17 years old. How many goals did he get finished with?
19.
I can't even count. This guy is so close. He is so close. And I don't even need... I'm not the only one who can think this.
No.
He can grip it. He can rip it.
Third in teams on shots on goal.
Yeah.
Kalmakov had 193. Bellamy had 100... Or no. Second, because he played the full year. 121 shots on net.
He can shoot the puck like I've never seen, and he just misses. He misses the net.
Yeah. Not by much.
I don't. You watch warm up, and you see these players intentionally miss the net in the warm up because they're like, oh, what if I can pick the corner here, right off the post. Okay, next year, I swear, if he works on accuracy this summer, next year he's a 40-goal scorer.
Oh yeah,
guaranteed.
Yeah.
If he's getting half the opportunities, he's can stay healthy. He's gonna be a 40 goal scorer at 18 years old, and I still don't know if he did enough this year to get drafted.
No,
it's going to be one of those players that he didn't have a great year this year because he was hurt most of the time, but he's going to have a massive year next year, and there's going to be 32 NHL teams that are going to be absolutely salivating at him at the 2023 NHL draft because he's so close. He's so close. You don't even understand how close he was to being not just an 18-goal scorer, but a 30-goal scorer at 17. Near inches away from scoring 30 goals at 17 years old. That's why I'm saying at 18, if he gets his shots on net, he hits the target, he can score 40 goals at 18.
Yeah, no, it's and he gets the shots, and it's not just like standing on the power play in the McKenna zone. He gets the shots off moving through, and you don't see them coming, and bang, it's if it goes in, it goes in. But most of the time, it's just missing the net by just a little bit. And I gave him a B for that reason. I mean, he's got the shot, he's got the speed, he can make things happen. The only thing was the injuries, and like I said to you a few times during the season, he reminds me of Sear.
Yeah.
When we started this thing 4 years ago, and Sear had the injury in the playoffs, and then he had the injury the second kind of year, and then that third year, we said, well, if Mika Sear can stay healthy, Jacob Pelche should have a great year. And that exact thing happened. Sear stayed healthy for the next 2 years and was great. And that's where I think Loshing is. If he can just stay healthy, and he gets those power play minutes, and we've got that Moran on the quarterback one power play, getting him in the sweet spot, I'm with you. I think he can score. I think he can score 40. He just has to stay healthy for 68 games. Maxim Barbashev, I gave a B+.
Yeah, I'm with you. I have a B+ as well. This one I had thought long and hard about because I had maybe it's the name. I had higher expectations.
Luckily, I don't know the name, so I had expectations for Max.
Yeah. I was anywhere from B+ all the way down to a B-.
Yeah.
But I'm too nice, so I'm going to go B+. I'm not going to, for the sake of time here, I know we're fresh, of the second episode.
Yeah.
But I could probably talk about him for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
About why I bounced around between the Bs.
So let me see if I can sum it up for you. He's got the power forward size.
Yeah. Doesn't use it.
But hasn't used it
We
all the
saw
time.
it in game 2 against Charlottetown
and
with
we
that
saw
goal.
And we saw it when he came back from the Prospects game.
Yeah.
So, and like I said earlier in the year, he's got the dry-sidle ability. He's got the big body. He's got the skates that is sneaky speed. He's got that hit with his ass that when he makes it happen. So he's got the big body. He's learning how to use it. He frustrating at times because he kind of disappears a little bit. He tries to get his team going with a hit. Sometimes maybe it's the Russian thing, the penalty, whatever. I think this year, and we already seen it. He was down in St. Louis for Game 6. I think being down there for another year with his brother, training and in that environment, I think you're going to see a very different Max Barbashev next year. I got him penciled in the top line. He might at least top 6 next year. I think you're going to see a different Max Barbashev.
Now you have where is he penciled in
I
your
got him
lineup?
with Lapel and Loshing right now.
Okay, I'm going to say this: if he's in Moncton next year,
What? All right.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
All right.
If he's in Moncton next year, and I'm only going to say this now, I'm not going to say it on another episode, but what other player under the age of 20 has value like Max Barbashev?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not contending next year.
Nope.
You've got a power forward that if he plays to his potential could probably put up 30 and 30.
Yep.
30 goals, 30 assists.
Well, he had 27 this year, so.
Yep. You got to hope he gets 30. He could probably get 35 and 35. You're not letting Russians getting drafted in the CHL draft. You're not letting Belarusians getting drafted. You want an import. Who you calling? Richie Devo.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I get you.
You know, it's. I'd love to have him back, but I'm looking at value here. And I'm thinking his dream was to be a Moncton Wildcat. He realized his dream. His dream was to be an NHL player. He's going to get drafted this summer.
By St. Louis.
Probably.
Right?
Like, it all adds
it just
up.
makes sense, right? Like,
But you want him to be drafted as a Wildcat.
yeah.
And that's the only thing. Because the stupid Q draft is a week before the NHL draft. And it's like that Zach Balduke thing, right? Where Rimouski wanted him to be drafted in the NHL as a Rimouski Oceanic. But then you go and trade him at what, September?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So what's the rule here? Like if you have an import that's drafted in the NHL, you can automatically take a pick in the import draft, or does he have to be picked in the first round of the NHL draft?
I feel like it's first round, but I'm not 100% sure.
That's what I'm saying. If he's back,
Yeah.
But I just see a team that needs an import, that has their eye on a player that's in Russia, but he just can't be picked. But because Barbashev is grandfathered into the league, he can play in the league next year. And I'm looking at value and I'm thinking, okay, he's easily worth at least a second, 2 seconds at least, right? And you want to get those cupboards filled up more. And he's the best asset on this team under the age of 19.
Yeah, I don't disagree with it because, as I've told you, and we won't discuss said player, but I believe there's a player that Moncton could use some assets to acquire, so we'll leave it at that. I'm going down the list on points-wise, so we'll go with Matthias Cloutier.
If you would have asked me in the first half, I would have said a D.
And if you ask who your most improved player is?
I would have said Matthias Cloutier.
Me too.
Asked me in the first half, he would have been on the team next year. I said no. Playing the second half, definitely on the team next year.
Yes.
B.
Yep. Yeah, he did everything that was asked for him.
Still slow as fuck.
Still Jake's.
But like you said, you park his ass in front of the net.
Yeah.
He's going to score goals.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what he
Yeah.
did in the second half.
There's your forward three in the power play. Just stand in front of the net, stick your stick on the ice, wait for the pass, tip it in. I had no. Yeah, I'm with you. Didn't have the greatest first half, but I mean he was playing top line minutes. Now depth and injuries help that, but you're not playing that consistently for I think it was like a week and a half, 2 weeks without producing on that top line and playing well enough. So yeah, I'm with you on there. A B. So let's go to Phelan 22. Your favorite player. One of my favorite players on Instagram because it's just fun to play that song all the time. Thomas Auger missed a lot of time with a broken foot. Missed almost 20 games.
Doesn't matter with me.
No.
A.
You went
A.
I went B+.
Definitely an A. This guy is going to score.
Yeah.
He's so talented. And look, I teased this like 2 years ago when we picked him. Right? I knew. I had a feeling about him. Watching 10 seconds of video about him, I had a good feeling about him. And for me, the injury, yeah, it sucked. But everything else he did this year is definitely worth an A. I think it was maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 players they gave an A to. He's one of them.
I only gave 2. That was the
tough.
hardest.
Well,
Well,
I thought I was too nice.
he would have been an A, but the injury, like it just that hurt. Like that's the worst part. Like I took everything into account, right?
Okay, 5 players to give an A to.
And you know what's funny is when he came back, you forgot how tenacious he was after the puck and his motor and his I don't give a rip.
Yeah.
I'm going to get in your face whether you're 5 1 or 6'8". Like, I don't care.
Another one with really nice eyes, by the way.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
You put him and Thomas Darcy together,
look out.
and man, like you're, like even I as a man, I'm gonna start sweating. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
man.
I love it. All right, we'll get to the the reigning rookie of the year, because they haven't given up the awards yet. Alexi Daniel, 26 points in 67 games this year. I gave this guy an A-. I gave him an A- because
okay, yeah.
he played up second line, third line, but he turned himself into a very skilled penalty killer. And that's what I really liked about him. That's what I valued about him this year. Him and Paven were very good penalty killers. So for him to play up and down the lineup, produce when he needed to, but it was more, he just bumped up because he turned into a very, very good penalty killer for me.
I was B+ on Daniel, and he did everything that he understands his role.
Yep.
You know what you're going to expect out of him. You know what you're going to get out of him every night. But later on in the show, you're going to hear his name from me.
Oh.
When we get to a different section or part of the show. He didn't have enough for me to get to the A, but I think B+ is still respectable. But I'm expecting big things out of him next year.
Yeah.
He's going to score some shorthanded goals next year. Count it. How many goals do you have this year?
14.
14. Next season,
20.
Guaranteed at least 5. That's rich. I'll let you stick with it. 5 shorthanded goals next year.
All right. Miles Mueller, 22 points, 65 games.
Oh, Miles, I love you, man.
Another, if there was a nominee for most improved, it's Kluche, it's Miles Mueller, and it's probably Jonas Tybell as the 3 nominees this year for me.
I'm dreaming. I'm in a world right now where next season I'm seeing Miles Mueller and Alexi Daniel killing penalties.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just getting chills in my body.
Yep.
Because of just how hard they work, how just not giving an F about their bodies, because they know after the game they can just go take a cold bath.
Yeah.
I'm going same thing as Daniel's B+. Miles Mueller can stick handle in the phone booth.
Mm-hmm.
He rarely loses a battle, and if there's a minute left in a game and you're down by 1, I want him on the ice. He's just that guy. You want him on the ice in the clutch moments to preserve a victory. And I don't think I need to go understand. I don't think I need to explain why, but you just have to watch him play to understand why.
Yeah, I went B+. Like you said, the face-offs, I mean, he was 42% on the year. 43% on the year. It just, he was taking the big draws early on in the year, and he hit himself and Alexi Daniel are the top PK forwards next year. They have to be.
For me, he's like an unsung hero.
And it's funny, he's one of the players that when he played last year and that one random game near the end of the year against St. John, you're like, huh?
Who's this guy?
And
I never thought he'd play in the queue.
No, exactly.
And then he's literally just
carving out a nice little PK role for himself.
Exceeded expectations by a mile.
Yep.
Miles. See
by a miles.
By a miles.
Hey, yeah.
I can't say enough good things about him.
Nope.
Another one of those late round guys that the coaching staff finds. He was playing in like Europe or something, but because his mom's from New Brunswick, he was eligible for the Q draft. And I'm
10th round.
Like, let's go. Let's find some more players with moms from New Brunswick.
Yeah, absolutely. Which, just don't anger her, though, bro. She follows us on IG.
God, yeah. What's her name?
Oh, I can't remember off the top of my head, but we should
should
probably find out before she kicks our ass.
It's not Petra. Petra's Tybell's mom.
Tybell's mom.
Oh my God, I can't remember her name.
Where is it?
Shoot.
We're gonna move on to Jonas Tybell here in a minute, but
we're real bad right now. I can't think of her name. Is Diane? No. Sorry, guys.
Sandra Mueller.
Sandra Mueller. Sandra.
LA_Tooth Fairy. Like, she's winning awards for weightlifting. Like, it's unreal. Like, I would not want. No wonder Miles Mueller plays so well and plays so tough.
Like legit. Like, send me your workout program.
Yeah.
Because I want to follow it. Like, this is
Olympic weightlifter, CrossFitter. From like just if you follow her, if you find her on Instagram, like just strong AF.
Yeah.
Strong AF. So
Yep.
shout out to her. All right, moving on to Jonas Tybell, another guy that would be nominated for most improved. Found his game in the second half. I gave him a B+. And when LaBelle went out, this guy took almost every face-off in the hockey game. Mm-hmm. And it was a struggle in the first half to winning face-offs, which is a learned art. And he started to learn it, and he started to take the big face-offs down the stretch. Kind of found a nice little role with Barbashev in that second half. They kind of had the chemistry there. So for me, Tybell is a B+.
Yeah, I went B. I went B because he got off to a slow start. In the first half, I probably would have said I don't see him back next year. Just hasn't done enough. But he got that Christmas break and kind of came back as a different player. So I think he's earned his job next year. And yeah, I like it. If both him and Barbashev are back next year, I think that's a second line that will stick together with a Mercier, because I think those three played really well together.
And since we're doing it, shout out to his mom, which I believe is Petra, right?
Petra Tybell.
That's
Tybell,
right. Who was here earlier in the year.
Yes, she's right. I was working at the old Rogers booth, and she's wearing his Austrian hockey jersey to the game.
Nice.
And I remember she came to the booth, and she was wondering about how to get that TJ Brody jersey. I said, yeah, I'll ship it to you in Austria. Don't worry, I got you taken care of. But she didn't win, unfortunately.
No,
so.
that's unfortunate. So a couple forwards left. We're going to talk about the forwards that were here. So the next one on the list, Langlois, F, was on the team, whatever. Mercier, 20
easy,
points,
easy.
42.
Easy.
What did you go, A?
Oh, definitely an A. How could you not go an A?
Well, I went to a D. I just did.
What? A D?
No, I know. No, not even at all. I just wanted your reaction.
Oh, my God.
Yes. That's exactly
You
the
got
reaction.
me.
You just about left. Just about walked up, left, threw the headphones down. No, I went, what'd I go? B+.
Still a little debatable there.
Well, I would have gone A, and
I'm looking at that at the volume thing when I said what?
Yeah, it was up
you
there.
might want to put the old mute button. when
Yeah,
that comes on.
I'll edit that down a little bit lower. You could see his game coming, and I can't remember what it was, but you talked about it against. I think it was against the Islanders. He had a breakaway, and normally in U18 or whatever, he would have deked that, and he just kind of took the shot. Or maybe it was against St. John.
Yeah,
that's kind of why I didn't
yeah.
quite have elevated him to the A.
He's
you
timid.
can see,
He's nervous.
He's
Yeah.
timid. He's nervous. He's growing in. He's like you said. He's like the Pelche type. He's like Auger. He's got the motor. He's going into the dirty areas to get the puck, but just off the A because he's just timid. But that's going to come.
Yeah, I'm an A. I'm sorry, I saw enough of him to know that he's part of a very bright future.
Oh yeah.
The fact that he's a late birthday, he's not eligible till 2024. He's a first round pick in 2024 to me. I think he's next level. He's got everything going to be an NHL star. I don't want to. I know we joke about the Maple Leafs a lot around here.
Mm-hmm.
Nylander
Oh yeah. Yep.
for me.
Yep.
Nylander. If you can get, if you can get him to play like Nylander and shoot the puck, well, hopefully he'll hit the net a little more than Nylander.
Better defensively than Nylander.
Better defensively. And you look at Auger, who's look. I don't want to compare him to Leafs here, but Marner,
Yeah.
right? Like, so if we can get like an Austin Matthews,
Loshing if you can hit the net.
if we can get an Austin Matthews
Yeah.
on that in Moncton, not like you're not going to find an Austin Matthews,
No.
but maybe with that Valdor first overall pick, you never know.
might,
But just the fact that these two are going to grow together. Him and Mercier best friends. You can tell the chemistry's already there.
Friendship Tour 2022.
That's right. Hashtag Friendship Tour.
Yeah.
You get a goal scorer around these guys. Oof, they're going to tear this place up within a couple of years.
And our final forward, and one of the only 3 players that were a plus this season. Jacob Stewart was a plus 10 in his 29 games. Paven was a plus 5, and Anthony Hamel was a plus 2.
Paven was a plus?
Paven was a plus 5.
Oh, my
That's
God.
it.
I
Yeah.
didn't even take that into consideration.
I didn't either until I was just looking because I was kind of going through as we were going through this, I was going through the points and looking down, and everyone's like minus. I'm like, let's just hit this and see who was a plus. That's it. Paven was plus 5. So of the forwards that were here, he was the number one, like he was the only plus forward that was here all year. Hamel was the only defenseman that was plus all year. Paven is a B minus, and he brings the energy. He's turning himself into a penalty kill, like Mueller, Daniel, Paven, and whoever you want to put, maybe Kluche taking draws on that second PK. He's turning himself into quite a good PK guy. Carving himself out a nice little role in the third line, kind of a shutdown role. So for me, Paven was a B minus.
I'm spot on. I got him as a B minus as well. But next year he's going to come in as a 19-year-old. So you're going to see these 19-year-olds, these forwards and these defensemen. It's a numbers game, right? Because we're still rebuilding. So there's going to be some pieces here that, like a Paven who is a plus 5. Like, can you ignore that? Is that an argument for him to be on the roster next year?
Do you have him on your roster next year? Because I'm looking at mine, and I maybe have him as the 13th forward.
It's too early for me.
Yeah.
I can understand 13th forward, and I'll tell you why 13th forward. He's 19. So I have absolutely no problem sitting a 19-year-old in the stands over a 16-year-old in the stands.
Yep.
If you have a 16-year-old in the stands, ship him back to midget.
Yep.
16-year-olds should not be playing or should not be in the stands, excuse me, while a 19-year-old can ride the pine all they want, right? That's my argument. So, yeah, for me, he's a bubble guy right now. So I would probably put him in that 13, 14 range.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if we learn anything, we're going to need depth. So that's it. That's our forwards there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you have your roster that you kind of have penciled in next year, or you want to wait to a couple weeks for that.
I need to wait after the draft.
Okay.
Well, I'll have a roster after the draft.
Okay. Cool. Then I'll get rid of my roster.
Yeah.
I do have. I just had one of the second round picks, in the draft, which in the roster obviously, but that kind of leads me to the question: do you see 2 seconds, 3/3 Moncton using all those on prospects, or do you see some moves to acquire said 19-year-old, 18-year-old that can grow with this team to be a 20 by the time we're in our rebuild? Because as I said on guest spot on Quarantine TV, I'm not so sure I see Richie using those picks on players. I see him moving, and I've told you the player that I think they acquire, and I think they move at least a second, a third, and something in 2023 plus to get said player.
Do I think that they use all those picks? Okay, so I get 2 seconds, I get 3/3. I'll say they use the 2 seconds guaranteed are being used.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the thirds will be for a player. And if you can get the right player, I don't have a problem using one of the 2023 firsts. However, it's not the
Valdor one.
not the Valdor one.
Yeah, the
we're
Moncton
not
one?
using the Valdor one.
Nope.
We're strictly using the Moncton one because I see it kind of being in that 10 to
13
12,
range.
13 range. I'm okay with dangling that one. But if it's only for the right player, And I know you have a player in mind.
Yeah, I sure do.
I also have a player in mind who I think...
My player in mind kind of surprised you.
Yes, but you know what? When you mentioned it to me, I kind of thought about it, and it makes sense.
Yep.
It is a forward.
It's a perfect fix for, like, not fix for your top 6, but it's a perfect player that you could slot in your top 6.
It is a very good Wildcat way kind of player.
100%.
We will be playing in the Memorial Cup.
just-
Let's put it that way. Yep.
It's just what do you pay
What
to
do you
acquire?
pay for it? Because you're right.
Yeah.
If it's not now, if it's not at the draft, maybe it's later. Maybe it's at the Christmas time.
But I feel like this is the type of guy you want to get
Absolutely. Yeah.
at the draft when I guess prices are a little bit low, but
Mm-hmm.
also when teams that, and there's a bunch of them that loaded up, so there's a bunch of them that need picks. It's that's when you're going to kind of see these kind of trades happen. So that's
You don't want to overpay because at the same time you don't want to,
hinder your franchise.
you don't want to hinder your franchise, but you also don't want to help a rival.
Yeah.
Right. So I agree. I think I'm on now. That once you mentioned his name to me a few weeks ago, I thought about it. I thought about it hard. I looked at it, and I was like, "Yep, that's a damn good. That would be a damn good pickup."
Makes for a heck of a draft show for us.
Absolutely.
Sponsored by someone we haven't quite figured out who yet.
Maybe Yip Cider.
Yeah, maybe Yip Cider. And if you know anyone that wants to sponsor, we are open to any kind of sponsorship. So, but that's not what we're all about. So yeah, that's our grades on the players. We pretty much agreed on a lot of them.
We did,
A few
yeah.
disagreements. You were, I would say, a little bit more favorable, I guess, than I was. But I took into injuries and everything into consideration. I mean, I'm sure you did too. But we agreed more than I thought we would.
Yeah. We don't share our information with each other.
No.
I do think we need to communicate a little better because I didn't use the 3, guys that were brought in mid-season.
Yeah.
Just I guess by overall,
If you were,
I was tough. I was tough on Jacob Stewart throughout his entire career as a Wildcat, but when it come to him being released, I think
that hurt.
It was not so good.
No,
I think we probably could have used his leadership,
especially when you got into the depth and into a lot of younger forwards.
Yep, I think we could have used his leadership in the second half. But good on him. He's going to the what do they call it?
Fred Page Cup.
Fred Page. Is it Fred Page? No, they don't. That's the. Fred Page is the Eastern Canadian Junior A, but now it's like a junior. They've kind of implemented all the regional teams in one tournament. I just don't know what they're calling it.
We'll
Junior
find
S
it.
is ESO? No, ESO is the
That's the women.
women. But yeah, it's the Canadian Junior A Championship that he's playing for. So finally, Jacob Stewart has a chance to win a national championship, which he
Centennial Cup in Estevan, Saskatchewan.
the one.
Which will also, I don't know, this is going to be more of a joke than actual fact, but when was the last time 2 former Wildcats were in the Centennial Cup? It's Jacob Stewart representing Summerside
Owen
and
Stammer.
Owen Stammer. Okay, then 3.
Yeah.
Mark Rumsey.
Rums, that's right, Rums.
He won with Estevan,
Oh
who
my
hasn't
God,
won in forever.
Jesus.
So
We're forking out the Junior A superstars here.
you want to talk about the Wildcat way?
Yeah,
They're winning championships.
we're all about getting players to Junior A.
Yeah.
We're developing the right way.
Yeah.
We're gonna play junior with the Wildcats. You not good. You go to Junior A.
Yeah.
Win yourself a championship.
Hey,
Yeah, Owen
but that's-
Stammer.
That
Jacob
just looks
Stewart,
good on the
you're right.
team, right? Like you're drafting these guys and their leadership on their Junior A teams. So never a bad thing. So hey, good luck to all 3 of those players,
That's right.
as well as Bayerjon and Lounsbury.
That's
at
right.
the
At
Telus
Telus Cup. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Let's do it.
Your turn.
My turn.
There's no music for it.
No.
intro.
Okay.
Just rip it up.
So we're usually at the start of the show is we do a quick question, but we figured, with this being the season recap, we'd kind of do a quick question, looking ahead to next year. So Adam,
Yes.
I'd like to know what's one thing you'd like to see from the organization next season on the ice and also off the ice?
Oh, man. On the ice,
Doesn't have to be anything big. Doesn't have to.
No.
I want them to be top 5.
no.
It doesn't. I want just. It could be a player playing in a role.
Yeah, I think on the ice, I think I just want to see a commitment to Filion as the number one goaltender.
Good one.
Wins, losses, it doesn't matter. Obviously, we're projected to be in a divisional battle with Halifax. We're projected to be better. I don't have any doubt Rich is going to bring in players to be better. But I just want to see a commitment, and you've talked about this, and we've seen it in the organization in the 5 years that I've been doing this. It's just the rookie goaltenders, and Filion played a little bit last year. He played more this year. You're coming into a year next year where the goaltender is going to have one playoff game experience. I just want to see it where he's playing 3 or 4 in the year. I just want to see a commitment to Vince Filion from the start. You're our guy. We're going to roll with you 3 or 4 or 2 of 5 or whatever. Most nights, anyways. I want to see a commitment to Filion on the ice.
Well, 2 of 5 wouldn't be number 1, right? 3 of 5 would be
3 or 5, yeah.
For
I think
me,
I meant 5 out of 7.
I know what you meant. At least for me, he's got to get 70% of the starts.
Yeah.
So my on the ice thing, this is just something simple. But Alexi Daniel needs to have a letter on his jersey next year. For me, you look at the Memorial Cup team in 2006, when a local guy like Chris Gaudette was the captain.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at Alexi Daniel, who, he's going to be 19 next year, which is crazy because time flies.
Yeah.
Right? In this league. He's going to be 19 next year. You give him an A, and then I think, honest to God, he's a captain the year after that. Honest to God, he's the type of player that we need as in a leadership role. He's shown everything you need as a Wildcat to be a leader and an important piece for the next 2 years of this organization.
I like that.
Could be just something simple, right? You was feeling on me. It's Alexi Daniel leadership, 100%. He needs a letter on his jersey, and it's an A. And then the year after that, for me, I think it's a C. Unless, if you're right on your whole prediction of who you think is going to be brought in, who it would be a 19-year-old forward,
Definitely a letter player.
probably a captain the following year.
Yeah.
But
if I'm wrong,
if you're wrong, it's okay because we hang out of those 2 seconds. But for me, Daniel's a letter next year and possibly a captain the year after that.
I love it. So what do you got off the ice?
Off the ice, it's kind of funny. I'm obviously a big drinker. I like my beers. I like my alcoholic beverages. We have so many incredible craft breweries around here that it is time that we have a Wildcat branded beer for sale at the games. It doesn't need to be, we've got Tire Shack, we've got Pump House, we've got Happy,
Tidenbore,
we've got Tidenbore, we've got Flying Boats, we've got Cavoque, we've got Holy Whale. We've got so many amazing craft breweries around here that we need a Wildcat branded beer. We even have a craft brewery station at the rink. Get it on the taps, sell it at the games. You could even make a play on the whole. The name of the team is the Wildcats. You could literally name the beer Feline Fine, right? Cat feline. Like
got it.
Fine, right?
Yeah.
I would sit at a game drinking a beer called Feline Fine.
Wildcast podcast trades the marks. Feline Fine.
If it meant I was supporting the team
Yeah.
and supporting a local craft brewery,
Yeah.
I would drink a beer called Feline Fine.
Yep. That's a good one. I didn't think of that. That is, yeah, we need something like that.
Because you got other teams with it.
Yep.
It's Saguenay. This Chicoutimi's got their own beer.
Yep.
I can't think. I think Drummondville. Some of these teams have their own beers, and it's like Moosehead. Well, Moosehead, right? That's literally the company name.
Mm-hmm.
But like a branded beer that's going to support A, the team, B, another brewery around town. Come on.
Yeah, I got one for the Wildcats off the ice. I got one for the Avenir Center off the ice. So the Avenir Center, it's just we're paying the prices we're paying. It's fine. Like, we're now used to it. The only thing, and I've said it since we started learning the prices, make it a one number price. I cannot go get 2 pops for $10.
Mm-hmm.
It's $10.30, it's $10.65. So I get $9.35 back. Like, what am I going to do with that? Like, you can't even, anyways, that's my thing. It's just, you're already making the money on the pop. Make it $5 with taxes included. Make everything so it's like, if you send a kid to the game with $10, he can go get a pop and a popcorn with $10, not need $11.25 or whatever it is. Off ice, I want this organization to be first in something. And just, I would love for this show to be official. I've said that from day one. Not many teams in this league have an official podcast of their, and not many teams in the CHL do it. I think Portland has one. North Bay has one. That would be cool. That's not what I want. What I want this team to do off ice is, and I've said it on the lives a few times, is rebrand this whole thing. Sit down with your season ticket base and just figure it out. Because, they lost Courtney in their social media and their game day experience, and it was okay. I'll give the 2 guys that did it props. They were very good all year. It's not the easiest crowd to kind of work and get excited, because it's a lot of older season ticket holders that just want to go to the game. They want to watch the game. They want to go home. But the game day experience has got to be fixed. We can't see commercials for products every time there's a whistle. It can't be that hard. You had a 25th anniversary season, and the only time you showed highlights from your 25 years was your era nights. It's not hard. I don't know this, but I can't believe it's hard to hook up a computer and YouTube some highlights of the Wildcats and put it on the board. Top 10 CHL plays. Your goaltenders and your players were featured in top 10 goals, top 10 saves. Put that in your intermissions. Like, when I was in Lethbridge, that your intermission was funny YouTube things to keep people engaged. People check out. You can probably ask most season ticket holders, and they know exactly when the commercials were coming. They know what song's being played, when it's coming. It's too commercial. It has to be back to the fans. And, I joked about it on a few of the lives. We would love to host a roundtable with the season ticket holders and Mr. Irving, Richie, Mitchell, the director, JC Gallant, your ticket, your season ticket holders are your base, and you have to continue to just, something's got to be done to just engage, because like I said to you, and coming out of COVID, it's tough. It doesn't feel like a community team anymore. Mm-hmm. You don't see them at a lot of events. You don't see them, they were at school readings and stuff, the smaller stuff, but you don't see them out at certain events and things like that. And maybe that'll come back this year with loosening restrictions, but it seems like it's a lot of corporate. They're always seeing commercials. Sarnia just came out. If you get their season tickets from July 1st to, I think, July 13th or something like that, it's $300 on the ends. $300 season tickets. That's your fan base right there. And get rid of these things. Get rid of the books. It's all mobile. Like, if I'm paying you $1,200 for 2 season tickets, I shouldn't only have 8 $50 doublers and have to pay for programs, and I should get a program every game. Like, just, if you're going to go mobile, go mobile. All season tickets on your phone, all free programs. And like I've said many times, if you're paying for season tickets and you buy it by a certain time, your preseason's got to be free, because that's your hardcore fans going. And I've always said round 1 should be free. or not free, but included in your season ticket package at least, because I'd be interested to see how many people bought that $250 playoff package as opposed to just buying one game. So that's why I wanted to go second on the off ice, because just travel the rinks. Just send, and I know they didn't have a social media person, but just travel the rinks and see what other teams are doing around the league and kind of take ideas from them. It's something's gotta give. Do you got a stick tap?
I do.
All right, perfect. Let's get to
yeah.
everyone's favorite part of the show now that I've brought it down.
Eric Murray, Realtor, buy our house from him. Stick tap of the week.
All right. Sorry. So I remember a month ago, you guys went to was it Wright's Bakery in
Yep.
Sussex?
Yep.
No. Sussex?
Yeah.
Salisbury.
Salisbury. I always
right?
get those two mixed up. Yeah.
So during my weekend down in Alma, I don't know how I've never discovered this place before, but Kelly's Bake Shop.
Yep.
You've probably been there, and I
Yeah.
don't know how I have never discovered this place before, but they're sticky buns.
Yeah.
Holy smokes. Unbelievable. After a 7-kilometer hike, the last thing you want to do is ruin it by eating sticky buns.
Yeah.
But was it ever freaking worth it? These are incredible. And I don't understand how they're not so more known. It's I would drive an hour every day just to get these sticky buns. And it's funny that on their little board thing, they've got like something like August of 2000. I can't remember what year it was, but they sold like 10,000 sticky buns in a day. Like, holy crap!
Yeah, man. Every time we bring somebody out here,
Yeah,
like family or whatever,
yeah.
we're there. And now, then I say that when we bring them out in the summer, we're there. Like, we're getting sticky buns or snacks or whatever from there.
So good. It's 10,000. I think it was 10,000. Does that seem realistic,
Yeah, probably.
or just 1,000 seem more realistic
10,000 sounds really good.
in
go
one
with that.
day, or maybe in 3 days, like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday,
Maybe a weekend.
maybe weekend? Holy smokes, though!
Either way, they sold a lot.
If you've never been down to Kelly's in Alma and try their sticky buns, you got to get down there. I bought like four packs of 6. I bought 24 sticky buns because I tried one. I was like, God damn, these are good. So I went and bought like 23 more. Yeah, unbelievable. I couldn't get over it. It's not a cinnamon bun, but it's almost the same kind of thing, just without the icing on top, but well worth it. Oh my God, just talking about it makes me want one right now. So shout out to Kelly's Bake Shop. I know one of these days you're going to be featured on one of these Food Network bake shows, because you've got something good going on there, and it's like a hidden gem. I was blown away.
The Stick Tap Week, sponsored by Eric Murray Real Estate with the RE/MAX Avante team. If you're looking to buy or sell a home in the Greater Moncton or surrounding area, make sure to check him out on social media or give him a call at 506-863-8802.
That brings us to the Rosemary Lynn Massage Wildcat of the Year. She's doing a promo right now, or they're doing a promo right now. Book a 60-minute massage in the month of May. Get an extra 15 minutes free. When do you get free stuff? Not very often. So you get an extra 15 minutes if you book a 60-minute massage. So call Angelina or Nicole, 506-830-1224, or follow them on Instagram, Rosemary_Lynn's_massage. They generally have their availabilities on their Instagram stories. You can book right there. The Wildcat of the Year. This one should be fairly easy for everyone to guess. He was featured 5 times. As Booker T would say, 5 times. 5 times the Wildcat of the Week. A 3rd round price paid for him. Absolutely all day, every day. You pay that for this kind of production from a player. In fact, he gets a special extra shout out for using our graphic for the Wildcat of the Week for his Twitter profile. Goes to number 9, Brooklyn Kalmakoff. 62 games played, 34 goals, 38 assists, 72. Like Jeremy said, I'm surprised he didn't have a UBI for carrying this team offensively for almost all of the year. So your Wildcat of the Week, presented by Rosemary Lynn Massage, goes to number 9, Brooklyn Kalmakoff. Again, thanks to everyone for tuning into part 1 and 2, supporting the show. We'll be back June 1st. We're going to take a couple weeks because really there's no hockey, and we'll come back when it's the Final Four. Start talking draft, start talking prospects, see if we can get some guests. And then we're going to have probably, 3 shows, take a break, and come back for the draft.
Yeah, sounds good. I can you give me 3 shows to get ready for a draft, I'll be more than ready.
Absolutely. Good luck to Preston Lounsbury. Good luck to Eli Bayerjean. They play, I guess they played last night, depending when this comes out. They played Wednesday night against each other. They start their TELUS Cup journey. The game is Sunday. The final, hopefully we can have 2 in the final and come back with a TELUS Cup championship for Wildcats prospects no matter what. I believe that game's probably on TSN.
Yeah, this we picked up on TSN, yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So yeah, don't miss that if one or both are in that final. Stay tuned to our Twitters. Jeremy and I will go back and forth as we get ready for a Battle of Alberta, 7-game Battle of Alberta. The bet, Oilers win. This guy's in an Oilers jersey. Flames win. I have to put a Flames jersey on. It's the worst. But once again, thanks for your support. See you in a couple weeks.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Wildcast Podcast. Follow us on social media at Moncton Wildcast.